Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head for days, trying to figure out how to make someone understand your choice? Have you ever watered down your dream to make it more palatable to a room full of people who have never dared to chase their own? If you have, then you already know the exhausting cost of seeking permission to exist as your true self. Welcome. You are not here by accident. You are here because you are tired of the endless cycle of explaining, justifying, and defending your path to an audience that was never your judge to begin with. Before we go any further, do yourself a critical favor. Subscribe to Elevate Your Daily. This channel is for those who are done with the theater of approval and ready to step into the arena of action. So subscribe to Elevate Your Daily because your time, your energy, and your vision are far too valuable to be spent on convincing the uninitiated. Today, we dismantle a silent epidemic of mediocrity, the desperate, draining habit of over-explaining ourselves. We'll expose how this need for external validation is the very anchor that keeps you from shipping your work, scaling your vision, and claiming your place in the world. This is Stop Explaining Yourself. Winners move, losers justify. We will uncover the 5 core truths that will liberate you from the prison of other people's opinions and propel you into a life of decisive action. 1. The approval trap. Why your brain is wired to seek validation and how it's sabotaging your mission. 2. The economy of attention. How every word of explanation is a withdrawal from your finite energy bank. 3. The Elon Protocol. Learning to operate on a need-to-know basis, not a want-to-understand basis. 4. The power of the unapologetic no. How to close the door on energy vampires without a single justification. 5. The ultimate language of success. Letting your results, your work, and your legacy do the talking. This is not about becoming cold or arrogant. It's about becoming so clear in your purpose that explanation becomes not just unnecessary, but a waste of your most precious resources, your time and your focus. Let's begin. 1. The approval trap, your brain's oldest addiction. For most of human history, being cast out from the tribe meant certain death. Your survival depended on being accepted, understood, and approved of by the group. This deep, primal wiring is still alive in your brain today. But in the modern world, this instinct has been hijacked. It no longer serves your survival, it serves your stagnation. You feel a powerful, almost physical urge to explain yourself when you make an unconventional choice, quitting your job to start a business, choosing a non-traditional path, or simply saying no to a social obligation. You believe that if you can just make them understand, they will give you your blessing, and you will feel a sense of peace. This is the approval trap. It's a lie that your safety and worth are contingent on their comprehension. The brutal truth is this: no one is as invested in your life choices as you are. To them, your explanation is just a story for their own entertainment or judgment. Their understanding will not change your reality, and their approval will not build your future. Winners understand this. They know that their mission is between them and their work, not them and a jury of their peers. They have severed the neural link between their actions and the need for external validation, freeing up immense mental bandwidth for creation. 2. The economy of attention. Your energy is a non-renewable asset. Imagine you have a bank account that is filled each morning with a fixed amount of energy, focus, and willpower. This is your daily allowance for creating your life. Now, every time you sit down to explain yourself, to justify your boundaries, defend your price, or rationalize your vision, you make a withdrawal from this account. A casual, "why did you leave your job?" conversation can cost you 30 minutes of focus. A family member's skeptical interrogation about your business plan can drain an entire afternoon of creative energy. A defensive email to a client who doesn't value your work can sap your motivation for days. Losers live in a state of constant overdraft. They are so busy managing the perceptions of others that they have nothing left to invest in their own output. Winners, on the other hand, operate with extreme fiscal responsibility in the economy of attention. They know that their energy is their most valuable, non-renewable asset. They guard it fiercely. They have mastered the art of the short, confident statement. I'm pursuing a different opportunity. That's not a fit for me right now. My rates are an investment in the results I deliver. And then they stop talking. They do not wait for a nod of approval. They do not offer a second layer of justification. They state their truth and move on, preserving their energy for the work that matters. 3. The Elon Protocol. Need to know, not want to understand. Elon Musk is a master of this principle. He is famously opaque, direct, and unapologetic in his communication. He does not hold press conferences to explain his every decision. He does not seek consensus before launching a rocket. His operating system is simple. Share information on a need-to-know basis, not a want-to-understand basis. When he decided to move Tesla's headquarters from California to Texas, he didn't write a long essay to the state of California explaining his rationale. He simply filed the paperwork and posted a short message. The action itself was the statement. This is the Elon Protocol. It is the understanding that your actions are your primary form of communication. Your words are a secondary and often unnecessary supplement. By adopting this protocol, you free yourself from the burden of being the narrator of your own life for an audience that is largely uninterested. You stop trying to control the story in their heads and focus all your power on writing the story in the real world. Your move is your message. Now go make it. 4. The power of the unapologetic no. Nowhere is the need to over-explain more toxic than in the act of saying no. Most people don't just say no. They say, I'm so sorry, but I can't make it because my dog is sick, and I have this other thing, and I really wish I could, but... They wrap their no in layers of apology, justification, and guilt, as if their boundary is a personal affront to the other person. This is not kindness, it's insecurity. A powerful, unapologetic no is a complete sentence. It requires no decoration. No thank you. I'm not available. That's not for me. That's it. The moment you add a because, you open the door for debate, negotiation, and emotional manipulation. You invite them to judge the validity of your reason. Winners understand that their time is sovereign. They do not owe anyone an audit of their schedule or a defense of their priorities. They say no with the same calm confidence with which they say yes, and they move on without a backward glance. This single skill, the ability to decline without explanation, is one of the most powerful accelerators of a focused, high-impact life. 5. The ultimate language of success. Letting your results, your work, and your legacy do the talking. In the end, all the explaining in the world is rendered meaningless by one simple force: results. No one is asking Steve Jobs for a 10-page memo explaining why he believed in the iPhone. No one is demanding a justification from Marie Curie for her research into radioactivity. No one is asking Michael Jordan to explain his work ethic. Their results are their final, unassailable word. When you are in the early stages of your journey, your work is fragile. It needs your protection. The last thing it needs is to be exposed to the scrutiny, skepticism, and unsolicited advice of an unqualified audience. This is why the most successful creators work in silence for as long as possible. They understand that the only opinion that truly matters is that of the marketplace, the people who will ultimately benefit from their work. They channel all their energy not into explaining their vision, but into executing it. They let their product speak. They let their art speak. They let their service speak. And when their results are undeniable, all the previous explanations they never gave become completely irrelevant. The world doesn't respect a good story about why you should succeed. It respects the undeniable proof that you have. The freedom of the unexplained life. To stop explaining yourself is to claim your ultimate freedom. It is to declare that your life is not a public debate to be moderated by every passerby. It is to understand that you are the author, the main character, and the final judge of your own story. This freedom is not found in being understood by everyone. It is found in being so deeply aligned with your own truth that their understanding